players. Thanks for waiting. Kyle and I have a super duper cool little matchup rounded out for you guys tonight in this round one. We're going to be looking at Mt.Lady on the good symbol versus Hanta Sero 1 on the water symbol. A very, very known entity, I think. You know, Sero has been played a lot and covered a lot on all three of his symbols, really. But I think Mt.Lady is certainly going to be the outlier here. Mt.Lady is a deck that has certainly been turbocharged a little. If you're a Mt.Lady stan, you are no doubt excited about a lot of these new DLC cards coming out right in the gate with the DLC cards, but they're going to be biting us in the butt. Quick thinking right there. Our signature 2-check coming in. A very, very powerful card when it's building Mt.Ladies. Not a very powerful card when it's forcing us to build one pass.
Yeah, for sure. That was a very unfortunate situation for this Mt.Lady player. But I think with the matchup that they have here, they're gonna be able to have at least enough time to recover. Which is very, very good for that Mt.Lady player. And looks like Sero is starting off with two of the strongest cards in water. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, getting to be on the play here makes the 2-check from Mt.Lady coming in so early a little less bad, especially when the new training method got us down to second foundation. And then we see the other side of the 2-checks coming in, committing
Yep.
Sero on the defense with that tape swing on the end. I was just about to say this feels like it's going to be a very, very 2-check heavy match. It's a good thing that I've got the master of the 2-checks here with me, Mr. Kyle Wright.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I will say, this Sero player playing it right. Do not care whatsoever.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
too doesn't exist.
what is Mt.Lady gonna do on 2 foundations? Threaten us? Back alley
Yeah,
on a 5, checks a 5.
exactly.
he's, he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. Oh, it's not back alley on a 5. All right, all right, all
That
right.
wasn't back
We've
alley.
relaxed. Oh man, I love to see carpool to work here. That feels that's such a sick card in Mt.Lady. Mt.Lady really got a lot of new tools. We've also got the Uraraka's encouragements here to search for our characters. This is a really, really, really sick Mt.Lady deck.
Oh yeah,
I'm
super
excited
techie
to
Mt.Lady
see.
deck.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how he gets this engine here going and how Sero is going to be able to combat it. You know, off to a bit of a slow start. Certainly, Sero's saving grace here. Let's see how he can put on the pressure, even
Mhm.
building through his own 2-check.
Well, I mean, that is certainly one of the good ones to start with. Oh, checking a 3 was unfortunate though.
Yeah, that's probably gonna put the brakes on our aggro, but that is super okay because this attack's gonna deal some amount of damage, no matter what. And now we just kind of get to play the block zone lottery with Mt.Lady. It looks like we're grabbing. Whoop, whoop.
For
Does he
sure.
have now the real question here is what zone are we going? We're fighting against the good symbol, right? So
Mhm.
their block zones are super well covered with super duper good mods. It's sometimes kind of tough to know, you know, do you just go all in on the low strategy like most Ceros do, or do you try to circumvent it? It's one of the most interesting things about playing Sero, right? Is
Yeah.
what mini game do you decide to play with your rival? How much do you think that they have experience against Sero? Are they expecting all lows all day? Are they expecting the trade off? I think it's really, really interesting to play that game with your rival.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, I think I think a lot of that high skill level Sero playing comes toward the mid game and in games 2 and 3 when that Sero player does have that knowledge of the opponent's deck and can make those decisions a bit more informed.
Yeah, that's definitely where things are going to ramp up. But it looks like our Mt.Lady player has said, I simply do not care about your block zone lottery, about your draw two. Do whatever you want. I'm blocking with this Mt.Lady and I'm building this Mt.Lady. Holy cow,
Hmm.
this guy's going crazy with the 3 diffs right now. This is a
Yeah,
certified Kyle Wright deck right here.
yeah.
12, 12 3 diffs and 4 tape swings.
This is a man of culture. I mean, it just truly is a man of culture.
He is he is truly one of the elevated water players here. But I mean, that means it's double culture, right? You can't play a Mt.Lady deck and not be a man of culture. It's the rite of passage. Chris Smith will tell you that.
That is absolutely fair.
Yeah, and so we also kind of
Ooh.
see the duality here of also attacking and poking into Mt.Lady. It's great to get our draw two and all, but we're sure to give Mt.Lady a very free momentum and let them build down their character. So it almost feels like Mt.Lady got to do as much as Sero did on his own turn. And I think now we're kind of seeing the real strategy come together here with the overhead reversal come in. It looks like this deck is going to be very, very dedicated towards building Mt.Ladies, searching Mt.Ladies, getting them in, getting momentum, and then just putting a bunch of really solid damage pumps on throws. Mt.Lady is one of those characters that can put some mass damage pumps on attacks that are throws, right? A lot of people say non-throw. Mt.Lady does not.
Absolutely. Mt.Lady is probably, once she gets set up, one of the more dangerous characters to have throws in. She can just put so much free damage onto those throws that even like six handers and five handers even are going to be fearing the throw a lot of times.
Yep. Oh man, that now the cool things are happening now. The cool things are happening now, Kyle. We're gonna pitch this
Ooh.
momentum, put a big 4 damage on this throw, essentially pitch momentum, burn our rival for 2. That feels so good, and then we get to replace it because that carpool to work that we got to go and tutor out right with Mt.Lady from our
Oh,
discard pile into momentum. That feels so freaking good.
oh
Really
yeah,
really sick plays going on here. This matchup is going to be all about taxing our Sero rival on how many face shields that they're working with.
oh yeah, absolutely. And it's a bit unfortunate that the Sero player decided to commit that wall cling on their turn, because they could have been able to block some of this extra damage.
Yeah, I was gonna say committing the wall cling on aggression might actually say that we have a face shield in hand, right? That would be very, very telegraphing we've got a face shield, but it looks like we don't. Otherwise, it certainly would have come down
Oh
on this
yeah.
big 8 damage throw. So we're gonna take a hefty chunk of damage there. I mean, that was like literally everything about that attack right there was so free from Mt.Lady, right? We played the
Hmm.
attack, but we built a foundation. So we didn't lose a card. We pitched momentum for damage, but we got the momentum back. So we didn't actually lose a momentum. That was actually the most value town experience I've ever seen.
Oh, absolutely.
And listen, new
And
training is going to bring down another. It can't be fixed.
all
Says
right.
says those grasping tape tosses do not possess stun one anymore, my friend. They
Yeah,
just don't have it.
yeah. There is no fear of the stun on this board.
Most certainly not. Doing a lot of very good, a lot of very good symbol things going on here.
For
I
sure.
think
But
Mt.Lady
we
is
are we are indeed facing the water symbol. So if this Sero player sees the right pieces, Mt.Lady could struggle for a while, even with multiple characters stacked.
yeah. I mean, we do have our one wall cling come back to us right now, right? And we
Hmm.
don't exactly have a vast array of things that let us deal with throw hate on the good symbol. We
Hmm.
could really the only like good control like targeted, hey, I don't want to deal with that interaction from your rival's board on the good symbol. It comes in very expensive things, right? Things like Lost in Thought. So one of the big reasons why like that card Lost in Thought's such a weird card, right? Because it's so heavily costed, but it's a thing that the good life and water symbols want so much that they're so down, right? To play this 4 check that removes itself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I find myself in my main deck playing Lost in Thought, despite how many four checks I have, despite how many high difficulty 3 diffs I have mixed in with my 2 checks. Right, I find myself throwing that card into the build just because having that spot removal is just so important for really all of the symbols of Lost in Thought.
100%. So the tape swing comes in. We've put a bunch of resources into making it a big old 10 damage move. We're pretty much forced to half
Ooh.
block that and let Sero draw 2. Right now, with such a healthy stage going on, Sero's been like an 8-hander every turn. That does feel very. Sero's they're definitely in a good spot. Mt.Lady has been setting up well, but Sero's game plan has been coming together very well so far. And now we're really going to start taxing our rival as the tongue whips come in. We've
Oh,
applied
absolutely.
-3 speed, so we're definitely posturing that we're gonna be able to block this. But it just depends on how the zone changes come in. I think we've already given our high block to the taped swing, kind of expecting to make everything low. Uh,
Hmm.
but I mean, if Sero goes to make this a high now, we might very well get some half damage in.
Yeah, yeah. Making it a high is certainly the correct play here. Given that they've blocked with a high, I think. But man, if this Sero player has another tongue whip, this turn could be absolutely devastating.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of, the crux of the water symbol sometimes, right? You can be playing this really, really good, like mid-range game plan, setting up your defense and balancing your resources. Then sometimes you just draw two tongue whip and you accidentally win the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having to take that one on the chin does not feel great for Mt.Lady, but what does feel great
Hmm.
is that Sero's offense looks to be over. He looks to be
Yep.
done putting the hurt on us, and we're gonna make it out of this turn relatively unscathed. We have to half block a 10 damage move and then take a 6 damage move. So we certainly got chunked, but we're still in the game, and that's the most important part.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, with the amount of damage that Mt.Lady's able to put out, and the fact that they already have 3 momentum, I mean, there's nothing stopping this Mt.Lady from checking another character, stacking a character, putting out 3 plus 6 damage throws, and ending this Sero's career.
Yeah, I think Sero's gonna if Mt.Lady finds, a nice aggressive hand here, we're probably gonna threaten Sero into having to use once per game, which is gonna put himself in a really, really good position to possibly backswing. So Mt.Lady's gonna have to, as aggressively good as they look right now, Mt.Lady's gonna have to posture their defense just as well and mind that very, very powerful once per game response. But I mean, when you have 3 momentum and all your attacks essentially have one usage of powerful 4, that's pretty good.
Yeah, yep. It's certainly not a bad position to be in.
Yeah, we did, however, not fulfill the prophecy. Back alley on a 5, check a 3. That is not how the meme goes. Thankfully, we're gonna get to
Nope.
build one. So back alley, the almighty giver and the almighty forgiver. We definitely have an it can't be fixed in there. It was peaking at the top
Hmm.
right away. So we could build that one in. We could also build in maybe a year finished if we have one, put some more deadlock pressure on the board. Having a couple of those really just says your rival's not allowed to enter that territory. So it might be Mt.Lady thinking about the late game here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially in this matchup, having multiple copies of it can't be fixed. Because um this Sero player is going to be so reliant on wall cling, especially towards the end of the game to keep them alive. Um, it literally just says they can't build into deadlock. Otherwise, you have no defensive outs to your throws.
Yeah, so it looks like Mt.Lady's going for another momentum here. We've already put rescue completed plus gotcha onto this move, so it's pretty slow. There's a world we could just like shell out for some heavy EX here. It's crazy to think, we're so focused on putting the the damage on the throws, right? That
Mhm.
it's often easy to forget about how good Mt.Lady is just with general momentum outs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've seen many a Mt.Lady deck that just doesn't even play multiple copies of the characters. They just use Mt.Lady as a momentum generator and 2 damage, right? And those decks perform very well. That's actually the majority of what I see. So it's kind of refreshing to see somebody actually trying to do the character stacking. It's very
Yo,
cool.
that is all super correct, but also he is cooking, Kyle. Did you see this? We've put back alley into the momentum with Mt.Lady, then
Oh
discarded it for +4
man.
damage. Now we get to draw with our you're finished. He's
Oh no.
actually he's actually cooking so hard right now into
This Mt.Lady
oblivion. This is
wants to
crazy.
hurt people. Oh
This is
no.
this Mt.Lady wants to draw 2 cards, man. This Mt.Lady wants to draw 2 cards, and I'm so here for it. That's such a sick play right there.
Mhm.
Ooh, ooh, now we're dumping for EX.
Okay.
6
Interesting.
speed, so that's gonna bring it. Let's see, we put -3, right, with rescue and gotcha, so that's gonna bring it to 7 speed right now. We're gonna get ice gliding out to put -2 onto it. We are eating through Sero's resources really hard right now.
Oh
We
yeah.
lost our momentum dump here, but that could say that, I mean, the fact that we went for that could say that we're really, really looking to put the pressure on after this. But and oh man, and a break or two and
Mm,
Sero once per game is going to come in here to stop us clean in our tracks, possibly. Ooh,
yeah. Oh, okay.
double invincible clasp. Wow. Okay. So we've got double invincible clasp. We've got double Uraraka's encouragement, which is 2 low blocks. The invincible
Hmm.
clasp is a high block. It looks like we got rid of one of them. And then we had a Mt.Lady in hand as well.
There was also a carpool to work, I think.
Yeah, so we're actually pretty stocked up when it comes to our block zones here. But man, Sero has so many foundations that if he just finds some really good aggression, ooh, on a
Hmm.
5.
All
Okay,
right, we're
checking
going for it.
a 3 post breaker 2, so we're not getting punished too hard there. But man, I feel like we might be disrespecting Sero's offense a little too much here by playing this move.
Yeah, a wee bit, a wee bit.
Because like that leaves
'Cause
us with no high blocks in hand, right?
yeah, yeah, I believe so. And also, like at the most, it's coming in for what, 3 damage? Because the Mount Lady has no momentum and I believe no way to get momentum.
Yeah, I mean we can lose 2 health to make it 6 damage, right?
Right, I forgot that card did
But
that.
like it's also blockable. It's just 3 speed.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
it's
So,
2 speed because of ice gliding. This is, yeah,
mm-hmm,
travel by tape is on a 5. We do
mm-hmm,
fail it, unfortunately for Sero. So we're gonna take it on the chin.
yeah,
But again, man, we didn't even pay 2 health, right? So it was just 3 damage. I guess he just really wanted the momentum, which I do understand. We did
yeah,
just dump all of our momentum.
yeah.
But I
But
think
now
that,
this Sero player is just gonna be able to make everything high, right?
yeah, especially just we just built a mid block as well, right? So now he knows that we have what we should have 4 in hand, and it's 3 lows and 1 mid.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna get 1 half block on me, and then after that, I'll just make every tongue whip high, and
Yeah.
then
If
and
it
then
if
13 goes away really fast.
For sure, if this Sero player sees the gas, I mean, it could be game right here.
Yeah, it's super duper possible. It's just going to be all dependent on what 6 cards he finds. It's also tough because you're probably not allowed to. It's going to be rough, right? Because if you half block something just because it's the only block that you get to make, you draw 2, which just, oh man. Speaking of draw 2, there it is. There it is. The frigid heat wave is going to come in here.
This Sero player is gonna have so many cards.
He's gonna have a lot of cards. He's gonna have a whole lot of cards. Mt.Lady goes, yeah. I feel that, man. I can feel the pain right now. Sarah has definitely manipulated this into a very, very, very good game state for him.
Absolutely.
He's got the boards. All he has to do is find the cards. I think we should have 6 range, right? 4, 5, 6. There it is. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
we've seen like every ice storm, man. Kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of ice storms to go through early. I know I always feel bad whenever my cheerful uppercuts hit the discard pile, so I can't
Yeah.
imagine how this Sero player feels when his ice storms hit it.
Yeah. Ooh, milling for damage and finding
Getting
2 off the top.
4.
Yeah, this is now an 8 damage heat wave. We should
This
probably
heat wave
just
is so big.
yeah, we're gonna commit rescue with gotcha for even more speed. Says, hey, if you do want to half block this one, it's gonna super duper cost you.
Hmm.
But I just think just because of the words currently on Sero and the knowledge we have of our rival's hand, now it's possible that half blocking this might be the play if we can check a foundation and then use new training method to pick up a new card in hand.
Yeah.
That's kind of the only way we can we can try and find more not low blocks here, because right now that's basically all we have.
Hmm. Yeah, it is not a good position for this Mount Lady player.
Yeah, it looks like Sarah's going to use defrosting and abuse our knowledge of our rival's hand even more to make this a 10 damage move. You
Hmm.
just you just have to half block this. Ooh, but wait, check the new training method. Pick up that high block. Pick up that high block. Pick up that high block.
Pass those checks first.
You
Are you
actually
gonna
do it
pick it
before
up?
you pass the check. You actually do it before you pass the check.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
it's
right.
like specialist of sounds reveal. You do it before you pass the checks, but it looks like
You're
we don't
correct.
want it. We don't want to. I think we've already accepted our death, especially as a tape swing with 2 momentum comes in.
Well, that's not very gamer.
No, this is gonna be. Let's see, we're at 8 now, right? We have 2 momentum, so we can get to. I mean, we don't have a mid, right? Oh, is he about to plus ultra this? Oh my
Oh,
god, he's
here it
about to
comes.
plus
Yep.
ultra this. He just really had to rub it in. He just really had to rub it in. Like it's
Uh-huh.
it's already 8 damage, bud. You could just make it. It's gonna be 8. You can just make it a low. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to
Well,
be like this.
well, he wanted it to be 14. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, we know that our poor Mt.Lady player here is not going to be able to posture the ability to deal with this bad boy anymore. With all of those low blocks stuck in our hand.
mhm.
Unfortunately, the lottery just really catching up to us. Maybe if we picked up the new training method, we'd end up having options here. If the plus ultra hadn't come in, of course, the plus ultra was really what did it home there.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, for sure.
the
For
ability to
sure.
even play around. Had Mt.Lady taken the out, right, we still would have been able to play around it.
Yeah. Yeah, even if the Mt.Lady had grabbed the new training method, at that point the tape swing was lethal no matter what, just because the mid block had been used.
Yeah, that was just kind of Sero getting his game in really well. And I mean, it's only going to get harder for Mt.Lady from here on now, right? We've probably got
Oh yeah.
all of the wall clings, all of the faith shields coming in from the sideboard. It's going to be even tougher for her to try and deal with that throw hate. Maybe she can bring in things like some capture evildoers. The good symbol sideboard is always in a weird spot, right? You've got like very okay answers to things. You're so obvious is like a really good stat reset. Evildoers
I
is
mean,
very good momentum hate.
I don't actually see any sideboard for this player.
Hypothetically speaking, of course, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But and I mean, hopefully we can get a better build, right? I think that was if anything really held us back in the early game. It was just not getting that nice build off. We left ourselves open to a lot of early game damage, and not to mention we had to play so much of our hand just to catch up. One of the real big ways that you get to deal with Sarah, right, is you just have to hold so many cards in your hand to respect his ability to shake up the block zone game so hardcore. And
Mhm.
when we started the game with only 2 foundations, we just weren't really allowed to do that as Mt.Lady, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the Mt.Lady did recover pretty well by turn 2, but the damage had already been done, and it was honestly just a matter of time, which is unfortunate. But sometimes that just happens.
Yeah, as we said, right, the 2 check giveth and the 2 check taketh. I really hope that we can see him bust out some more of those quick thinking and Uraraka's encouragement plays this game, because those
Absolutely,
were definitely the things that, like, I looked at this list and I was like, oh, this is super hype. This is what I want to see.
absolutely. I know he doesn't necessarily need to, but I really want to see this Toru come in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, this Toru in the sideboard for Sero.
Yeah, that would be pretty hype, not gonna lie. But I don't know. I think our Sero game plan worked pretty well the first time around, and I'm probably not. I mean, it definitely would help. Manipulate a lot of the damage that gets to go on the throws, force Mt.Lady to play more attacks, right, to actually try and get the value out of her abilities.
Yeah.
It definitely make her game plan more expensive.
Yeah, it certainly would make the Mt.Lady game plan a bit more expensive. As you know, Toru being one of my favorite secondary characters to play. I truly believe that the character can punish the heck out of really any deck in this format. I am a true believer in Toru, so I would love to see it, but sadly, I don't think we are gonna get to see it at all this game.
Yeah, we're staying on the boy Sero here. Oh, this build. Oh, that's a spicy build. Doesn't
Yeah,
even
that's
choose
a
to
build.
reveal. He says, "I've got no more foundations to play, bud. You can
Let's
you don't need to see what I'm
go.
you don't need to see what I'm drawing." The double
Although
photogenic
although
hero is really good
we
too.
played like the week, playing around the 2 check, how dare he?
Yeah, it certainly punished the heck out of us last time. So it's good to see that we had the foundations available to us to try and skirt around it this time. I also want to acknowledge how sick Precious Lesson is in this deck because it triggers off of Uraraka's Encouragements remove, it triggers off
Mhm.
of Photogenic Heroes remove, and it triggers off of Quick Thinking's remove. That is so sick.
Oh yeah, a great way to generate a bunch of extra foundations.
Yeah, that is actually some very 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 sick interactions in this deck.
Mhm.
The
Unfortunately, this Sero seems to have checked a 2 on first turn again, but he was still able to get to pass the check going second, so
Yeah,
that
the
worked
two
out for
checks
him.
are they're certainly giving and taking. However, I think it's okay to commit Sero here, right? Like I'm not super pressed about it. Mt.Lady is not going to be, trying to kill us this turn or anything. I'm not like crazy worried about having my once per game available to me.
For sure.
Uh,
And
Once
in
again, we have not
comes
fulfilled the prophecy. Checking out the three on our back alley haymaker, not quite the slaymaker that it should be. And we don't have
absolutely.
a 0 to build either because we just drew. Man, that is pathetic.
Oh, that's
I mean,
unfortunate. That's very
yeah,
unfortunate.
I mean, we have to throw something out there, right? Like we have to attack so that we can get some momentum.
Absolutely. Getting a little poke in there is very important for the Mt.Lady, but it just sucks that it had to be back alley.
Yeah, at least if we had a throw here, it would be guaranteed damage and momentum, barring any
Mhm.
faith shield things going on. And it looks like, yeah, we don't really have anything cool to grab. We don't have a character either. Our toolbox, we have not found our way through our toolbox very hardcore. Unfortunately, this is going to
Mm.
be the most mid poke of all time. And definitely not the value town that we saw on our overhead reversal in game one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I the breaker 2 would be very unfortunate here.
Oh man, if an ice storm block comes in here on,
Oh.
oh,
Oh.
it
Oh
fails because it's on a
no.
because it's on a 6. Oh, we should have
Yep.
ice gliding that. We should have
Yeah, for
ice gliding
sure.
that
Why didn't he
because
ice
even
sliding?
because even if we checked a 3 there, it would have failed, right?
Yeah,
3, 4, 5. Yeah, we still would have failed on a 3. I definitely would have ice gliding that.
for sure, for sure.
Then we would have had. I think we would have still failed checking a 2 though, right?
Yeah,
Because it
yeah,
would
but the
have
safer play was to do the ice gliding.
because it would have been on a 4 and we've only had one ready, so we still would have failed it. But it definitely would have been correct to play around the 3 check on top, potentially. And if we really wanted to play around the 2 check, possibly maybe on top, we could have taped it. I think just because of how value town getting that full block and breaker 2 off, I think I would have committed the tape and like committed the ice gliding and flipped the tape just to make sure I passed that block no matter what.
Um, I don't know if I would have done that turn 1. In a later turn, I probably would have, but turn 1, I don't know if I would have flipped the tape. I think I would have just committed the ice gliding.
Yeah, I definitely should have committed the ice sliding for sure. That is
Mhm.
that is inexcusable, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm also the scaredest player in the world. I am the biggest fraidy cat that has ever existed. Right? I never want to fail my block. I'll cry. I'll straight up cry, Kyle. It won't be pretty.
The first step is admitting you have a problem, Levi.
No, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. I like blocking a lot, and it is my problem. But Sero is experiencing the other side, right? We're getting to open with our 5 diff and slam right on that 5 check, only
Oh
picking up
yeah.
2 damage though, and we've had our speed sapped. If we, oh man, if we have a
Did
mount,
I
if
just
we have a
count
Mount
6
Lady
there?
block, did he really? Was that the 6th one?
I I don't know. It went by so quick.
It was very fast. He's not drawing 2 right away, so probably
Yeah.
not. Uh, but
He might be at 5, I guess.
Yeah, because let's see, we checked a 2 on our opening turn, and then
Mhm.
we failed the ice storm block by checking a 2, which means 3, and then we just milled for sure a 4th. There's definitely 4 in there. Oh man, this is so big. We made it a low.
Oh.
We had the low block, and it's the carpool to work. So now we have
Let's
a
go.
refundable momentum ready for next turn. I was thinking about how spicy a Mt.Lady block would be there, but this is maximum spice, Mr. Kyle.
Oh, absolutely. Carpool to work is one of the cooler cards, I think, in that set. Um let me look at the card
But
here.
oh man,
Yeah,
Sero
it
says
makes
I'm here to
me
deal
really
damage.
wish that the card had water so I could play it.
Yeah, yeah. If Kyle Wright had his way, folks at home, every card in the game would have the water symbol.
It's so true.
Every card in the game would have the water symbol and Kyle Wright enhance on it. But man, dude, this Sero player said I did not start this turn to not deal damage, buddy. This grasping tape toss is coming in hot on a 6, and the checks have remained fortuitous for us. However, there's still a world where this does get blocked. But if we even just get that throw half damage in, we're still advancing our game state. I think that's what Sero is really out to do here, is just advance his game state.
Absolutely. Oh, that's
Oh.
unfortunate that he had to use the Mt.Lady.
So it's a little unfortunate given that we did choose to commit our photogenic hero for the stun. Kind of
Yeah,
interesting there, but I guess the plan here was to never use it and to just build it next turn, right? With our enhance.
I guess, but
I,
I don't know. The one diff wasn't really doing anything, right? So
right,
I
right.
don't I don't
I
know if
think
I would have committed the photogenic hero.
yeah. I mean, it's committing the photogenic hero just says I was never going to use it in the first place, right? That is what that says.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I think is okay. I think he probably just wants to wait to use it while the precious lesson is up.
Hmm.
I think I think what's possibly his mindset, right, is I'm only interested in using this card in this situation if I also get to replace it with the precious lesson. Um, and it's also just super fine, right? Because we have double Mt.Lady though. Okay, maybe I would have
Reviewing
used it.
Mt.Lady. Okay.
Maybe I think I would have used it then having the second Mt.Lady, because now you have to spend 2 turns building Mt.Ladies like that. Unless we've got quick thinking. Oh, there it is,
Oh,
boys.
here we go.
There it
All right.
is. There's the
All
quick
right.
thinking. Yo, rock and roll here. Rock and roll here with Mt.Lady.
So,
We
so
are
this Mount
we
Lady
are
is going to be able to discard for 6 damage this turn.
yeah,
That's
that's very strong.
yeah, very strong.
Yeah, these are the things that I wanted to see. These are the these are the buttons that I wanted to see Mt.Lady pressing this turn,
Hmm.
this game that we didn't get to see so much in game one. And this is making all of the decisions make a lot more sense right now.
Hmm.
So now we're definitely going to get that precious lesson off. We're going to get that Mt.Lady coming in. We're going to press all of our buttons. We're going to do all of our super duper cool combos. The gears are turning right now for Mt.Lady. I feel like we're seeing a lot more acceleration of that game plan coming fully together. We already
Absolutely.
have more ladies than we did last game, and we've still got 2 photogenic heroes up and ready.
Yeah, this Mount Lady is definitely poised to be in a position where they could just end the game at any point now. Because plus 6 damage on almost every attack at the point that we're at right now is gonna be brutal.
Yeah, Sarah's gonna have to be super duper careful here, and I can't help but notice that we do not have a wall cling on our board. We are wide open once those throws come in, unless we're packing a faith shield.
Ooh.
Ooh, spicy plus ultra block.
Yeah. Yep. Half block though, unfortunately.
Yeah, that does not feel fantastic. That says to me, man, if you've got another high attack,
Go for it.
full send it and put a bunch of damage on it. I think the worst part of that block too is that we can't once per game now, which normally I wouldn't really be that concerned about once per gaming so early. But the fact that we're sitting on 2 extra ladies and 2 momentum, I don't know. Like you said, Kyle, he could end the game at any point in time now.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, but
Oh, but it looks like he doesn't have it.
yeah, it looks like we're just chilling out here, being very, very respectful, being very
Mhm.
respectful of what Sero could potentially do back to us. I mean, again, there's always a world where a heat wave and a tongue whip and some crazy stuff come in. I think being a little careful here is probably just okay. Mt.Lady's in a really good spot. There's no need to give Sero a really good backswing window.
Absolutely. Watch this Mt.Lady player have another Mt.Lady in hand.
He'd be a beast. He'd be a beast if he did. I mean, it's a 57 card deck, right? We've been going through it quite a bit, so
Hmm.
it's certainly not impossible. Opening with a heat wave again and checking a 5 is everything the water symbol wants to do from the get go. Uh,
Yep.
we're gonna
Somebody
be
read their water symbol manual.
most certainly. I think I have like less than 10 games ever played with the water symbol, but I've definitely played against it enough to know what it does, especially water Sero.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna once
Like we're
again
doing a
play
little bit of a
some.
-3 speed here.
Yeah, a little bit of -3 speed. Once again, we're gonna play some block zone lottery here, potentially with Mt.Lady. We should have what, 2, 3 cards in hand?
I believe 3.
I also believe 3. Ooh, flipping destined says I want to pick up. Yeah, we
Picked
did
up
we
Gray. All right.
we did say foundation. Very interesting.
Somebody
Um,
wants to hold the attacks in their hand.
Yeah, picking up a high block though does feel really good here. Again, just kind of
Mhm.
pressuring Zero to make those correct decisions right now. But man, Mt.Lady is already at such a scary game state. I would be afraid right now as Zero to play any attacks that like don't super duper guarantee value.
Absolutely.
I don't want to take risks right now, but at the same time, right? Sero is up a game, and that's one of the big things that people say in this game a lot is when you're up a game, that's when you can start really pulling out the crazy plays and taking the big risks.
For sure. With your average character, take those risks if you're up a game. That's how you get that second game, right?
Most certainly. And so obviously our rival picked up that nice new training method high block. So we're going to start sending all of our attacks into the low zone and just see what we help. Are we going to imagine if we ran into another carpool to work right now? That'd be devastating. I'd
Ooh,
be
that
in
would be
shambles.
sick.
I'd be in shambles, Kyle.
Here it comes.
Oh, oh, oh,
Is it Mt.Lady? He's debating Mt.Lady or carpool for work. Let's be real here.
oh. It's possible. No, it looks like he's just taking it.
All right, on the chin.
Huh,
Interesting.
that's interesting. Yeah, especially given that we put our -3 speed on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's interesting that changing it to low is what made us decide that we're no longer blocking it. I mean, you had to expect that though, right? That's like what every
Yeah.
Sero player in the world has ever done is just change it to low.
Yeah, just slap them all low. Low blocks are terrible.
Yeah, except we've actually got like, a bunch of really sick lows in this deck. So
For
it's
sure.
it's surprising it's surprising that that's the route that we ended up on. Um, but it's possible that we just didn't hold that low block at all. That seems crazy to think, though. Going into a Sero deck and a water Sero deck with 4 Tongue Whip in it, not going into his turn with a low block feels benign.
For sure. But at the same time, this player also does not have very many low blocks. If I believe they are low on that count.
I mean, we've seen Uraraka's Encouragement, we've seen Carpool to Work, Specialist of Sound, You're Finished. I think Quick Thinking's also a low block, but I don't want to block with that. But
Yeah,
also,
for
I don't
sure.
want to take a million damage to my face. So,
Yeah,
but he could just be going, hey, I have health to spare, not cards to spare. So
that is also true.
looks like this ended up back mid by the looks of it. So this is yep, we are gonna half block this bad boy
All
with that
right.
new training method. So we're gonna be taking what, 7 here and going down to 9. Our health is disappearing very fast here.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and like Sero's still got 5 ready foundations. We could certainly be playing. I mean, tongue whip,
Yeah,
right?
and just drew 2 cards. This Sero is in a great position.
Do we just play tongue whip and lock it up? Oh no! Oh no! I was
Ooh.
joking. I was joking. I didn't mean it.
Oh no. Oh no. The Mt.Lady was so ready though. Oh man.
Oh no. I mean, I don't think we can stop this, right? This is going to be effectively a 4, 5, 6, essentially a 6-speed move, right? With 2 cards in the pool. We're gonna think fast, right? So it's gonna be like a 7-speed. We aren't gonna be able to block this, but it's only gonna be ooh. Destroy photogenic hero to not receive speed bonuses? That's just gonna be a 1-for-1 though, right? I mean, unless he like
Uh,
super ice glidings it, I guess. But at that point, it's still not lethal, so I don't think that even makes it blockable anyway, though. I don't know. Maybe he's got some crazy math that I'm not understanding.
um. Yeah, I'm not understanding that math.
Yeah, 'cause I think it's with the 2 in our pool, it's still just not blockable unless we like buddy block with a Mt.Lady and then check a 6.
Yeah, but I don't think he can check a
I
6.
think the ladies are the only 6s in our deck. Yeah, we're just gonna
Yeah,
take
he
that on the
cannot
chin.
check a 6 here.
And this is gonna be on a 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think this is just I think we're about to just die to the sudden tape shot. We're gonna
Yeah,
make it a high, give it 2 speed, give it 1/1 with think fast, and then it's
commit, make
super
it a low.
duper
Give it a
unblockable.
bunch of damage. Yeah.
Yeah, you could also just do that as well to give it more damage. That way it's lethal on the half. I mean, it's super. Whoa, what is that hand?
Wow.
What is that hand? Oh my god.
Wow. Somebody was
Oh,
dead next turn. Oh
triple
man.
triple +3 mid block does explain a lot more about everything that just occurred that turn.
It's true.
Wowza.
I wouldn't want to block with those cards either.
Man, what a yeah, that was rough. That was pretty rough for Mt.Lady. I'm definitely glad that we got to see that deck do a lot more cool things, and I think it's certainly got some heavy legs. But man, sometimes tongue whip and just check fives take lives is gonna dismantle your super cute strategy at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Tongue whip is it's a bit of a drug. Tongue whip is really really strong. And the water symbol in general is just very overtooled, shall we say. There's a lot of really really good cards in that symbol and multiple very strong characters that play those cards very effectively.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just very hard for a lot of decks to compete with the water symbol.
Yeah, I mean, once the Seros and the tape swings start rolling in, man, it's a lot of damage that's very hard to stop, and the rest of the water symbol can just clean that up so easily. It's why Sero is, despite not being a deck that like takes top cuts terribly often, it's certainly a deck that everyone has played against a handful of times and rightfully so fears. But big shout out to Sero for taking that all the way to the win. Mt.Lady, you might have lost the set, but I think you won in our hearts with all of your super duper cool DLC strategies, and I hope to see much more of it. But guys, there's much more Wednesday Webcam Weekly in store. That was just the first of our 3 exciting rounds. So don't go anywhere. We're gonna let the rest of this round finish up and have something hopefully just as cool going on for our second round of the night. We'll be back soon, guys.